Welcome back into the Husky Dome as we get set for this game one of two between the St. Cloud State Huskies and the University of Minnesota-Duluth Bulldogs. And the Huskies will be batting first, even though they are at home, because this was originally scheduled to be UMD's home game. So taking a look at the starting lineup for the Huskies, batting first, it's going to be the shortstop Raven Vanden Langenberg, and coming up in second, it's going to be Haley McFarland, and after that, in the third spot, Sydney Trees, and being the designated player today for the Huskies, it's going to be Jasmine Estrada, and at the number 5 spot, it's going to be Haley Weinberger for the Huskies, and then hitting in the 6th spot is going to be Maggie Fitzgerald and Sophie Calhoun and Alexander Pikowski, and then Brooke Bolin round out the order for the Huskies. In the field for UMD, starting at the pitcher, it's going to be Lauren Dixon, then Zavarol at catcher, and then from first to third, it's going to be Thomas, Schmidt, Bender, and then Frost. And in the outfield, going from left to right, it's going to be Gronholz, Burkhart, and Bolsey. So we get started here in the top of the first inning between the Huskies and the Bulldogs. Raven Vanden Langenberg going to try and set the tone for the Huskies as we get started in the top of the first inning between these two NSIC foes and two big rivals. First pitch is going to be a strike right down Main Street to start off the shortstop's at bat. Raven Vanden Langenberg has been one of those girls that has really helped the Huskies in the past couple of years to really be that perennial powerhouse through the NSIC. And on the other side, the Bulldogs have been a perennial powerhouse as well, as that ball is high and inside and evens the count at 1. As I mentioned, it'll be Langenberg, McFarland, and Trees coming up 1, 2, 3 for the Huskies as Langenberg sets up in the right-handed batter's box with a 1-1 count. Dixon delivers, that one's high, and it's now a 2-1 count to the shortstop. And Langenberg came in, true freshman year, had a great season for the Huskies, and then that has only spiraled into a nice career for her, as well as she is currently in her senior season as this one's fouled away. Now a 2-2 count to Raven Langenberg, Vanden Langenberg. So the 2-2 payoff pitch from Lauren Dixon on the mound. Winds and delivers, and this one's fouled away again, and she stays alive. 2-2, the count remains. So far this season, Langenberg batting .239 on the season, so she's been getting on and she's been producing for the Huskies so far. She pops this one back, and she once again stays alive. So 3 straight foul balls to start it off, and looks like Vanden Langenberg is really setting the tone for the rest of the table here, as she's giving her teammates a lot of opportunities to see what Dixon has to offer. Still a 2-2 count, payoff pitch, and that is going to be a strike 3 looking, but a good battle there, but an even better job there by Dixon to pull a string and really put Langenberg on edge there. And now coming up to bat, the third baseman, Haley McFarland. She's batting .375. She's started in all 21 games for the Huskies up to this point, and she's got 4 home runs, 12 RBIs to her name. And she's coming up to bat with 1 out here in the top of the first inning. That's high for ball 1. After this, it's going to be Sydney Trees for the Huskies. But first, Dixon has to deal with the third baseman batting out of the right-handed batter's box. This one's ripped down the first baseline, foul. Good contact by McFarland. Currently a 1-1 count. 1 down if you are just joining us here in the top of the first inning between the Bulldogs and Huskies here in the Husky Dome. Game 1 of 2, as this one's fouled back, and it's going to be a 1-2 count. Originally scheduled to be in Duluth. Instead, we are here in St. Cloud, Minnesota, in the Husky Dome. Dixon sets, getting the sign here from Zavarol, and the 1-2 once again fouled away and off the dome, but it's going to remain a 1-2 count to the third baseman for the Huskies. Once again, stepping back into the box with a 1-2 count to her name, Haley McFarland. Trying to stay alive. That one just on the outside corner, and she watches ball two. That's a tough one to lay off, but instead of swinging at it, she watches it fly by for ball two. McFarland has walked 7 times so far this season. Maybe looking at number 8 here. 2-2 count as this one's just put down the first baseline, just half swing there from the third baseman, and it's going to land foul, so it remains a 2-2 count here in the top of the first inning. No score between these two teams yet. We've only seen one batter come up, and Raven Van Langenberg, she, after a lengthy at-bat, struck out as this one's grounded up the middle, and that's going to get through for a base hit for Haley McFarland, and she's the first runner on after a nice line drive right up the middle, just on the ground ball, and put it right past the second baseman Schmidt for the Bulldogs. And now coming up for the Huskies, it's going to be Sydney Trees, and she has had one of the better seasons so far for the Huskies, to put it lightly. Currently leading the NSIC and home runs. She's got 22 RBIs to her name. She's also batting .357. Trying to up that with Haley McFarland on first after a one-out single as she takes that one low for ball one. Sydney Trees will be catching today as she normally does, and hasn't been too long since Huskies had a power hitting catcher. You have to go back to Morgan Emmons, and that's what, maybe 2-3 years as she fouls this one away. And that's going to be one of the first strikes on her so far. Trees once again lines up in that right-handed batter's box. It'll be righty on lefty matchup here with Lauren Dixon. This one's high, and that's another ball as we continue to battle here in the first inning. As I mentioned, the Huskies on a 4-game winning streak. They had a great Hy-Vee Classic in Western Missouri, as that is going to be a strike as Sydney Trees watches that one slide in for a strike. It's going to be a 2-2 count, I believe. Dixon gets the sign from Zavarol, sets and delivers. And this one's hit towards the third base foul line, and Zavarol will get under it for an out. So that is a put out for the catcher. Not something you see too often, especially coming from Sydney Trees, but that's the second out for the Huskies. And now coming up to bat, the power bat of Jasmine Estrada. Estrada this season batting .308, has a double and 3 RBIs. Has 20 total bases, as this one never got above 6 inches, and that's ball one, low and away. Haley McFarland on first after a one-out base hit. As 2 down after Sydney Trees fouled that one away, but it was caught by Zavarol as this one's popped back and foul. And Jasmine Estrada looking to barrel something up here early in the first inning with 2 away. Jasmine Estrada will be the designated player for the Huskies in today's game as she steps into the left-handed batter's box, and this one's going to be grounded to the second baseman. Schmidt throws it away, and McFarland is going to go to third, as that was kind of a chopper and kind of came off the grass weird, and Schmidt threw it on a weird hop there to Thomas at first, and it just got away from Thomas. So runners on second and third after a throwing error. And now with McFarland 45 feet away, you got Haley Weinberger coming up to bat. And the pitch, that swing and a miss there to Weinberger to start her off. Weinberger so far this season, one of the, I wouldn't say lower Huskies, but she's batting .264, which is not something to scoff at, but a lot of these Huskies have been batting really well as that one's taken on the outside for a ball. So it's a 1-1 count. It's just hard when you're in such a heavy offensive lineup to really make a name for yourself, but she's got 7 RBIs to her name with the home run, 14 hits on the season. And that one's going to be low and inside for ball 2, and Weinberger is really testing Dixon. So are the Huskies after that throwing error with 2 on, 2 out. Jasmine Estrada reached on a throwing error and advanced to second. And the 1-2 pitch. This one's going to be grounded straight to Thomas for the third out, but not before the Huskies can get a hit, but they'll strand 2 here on in the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first after this. So we head to the bottom of the first inning here. The Huskies couldn't get it done on the offensive side in the first inning, but they strand 2. Now it'll be the UMD Bulldogs' turn to try and make something happen with the bats. Looking at how UMD will come up to bat here in the bottom of the first order. Leading them off will be Bender. Frost will be in that second spot. And then it'll be Jordan Thomas, Kelly Swank, Sydney Zavarall, Kat Burkhardt, and Julia Gronholz, and Nicole Schmidt. And then ending them off, it'll be McKenna Berselli. So starting them off, Bender takes a strike on the outside half of the plate. And Trinity Junker starting off on the right foot. Bender this season, batting .299. For second pitch is going to be a change-up on the outer half that won't catch the zone, and it's now a 1-1 count. Kiana Bender also has a triple and 4 home runs with 20 RBIs so far to her name in this season. As this one's grounded to the first baseman, that's going to be fielded on a hop by Fitzgerald, and she quickly retires Kiana Bender. So 1 up, 1 down for the Huskies. Being Emma Frost coming up for the Bulldogs. Frost as well batting in that high 200s, batting .288. She's got 2 doubles and 3 home runs with 6 RBIs to her name so far this year, and looking to maybe get something going on the base pass, as that one is a strike called on the inner half of the plate as Junker pulls a little string there to start her off against Emma Frost. Frost, the third baseman for the Bulldogs. Big swing and a miss there, and now it's going to be a payoff pitch coming up. Huskies wearing the black tops, white pants, and maybe the black hats if you got them or if you want them. And on the other side with the Bulldogs, it'll be the white tops with white numbers and maroon pants, as this one misses outside for ball 2. As 2-2 count coming up to the third baseman. Junker sets and delivers, and that is going to be a strike 3 looking there for Emma Frost, and Trinity Junker gets her first strikeout of the day, and it's looking. So quickly 2 up, 2 down for the Bulldogs, and now it'll be Thomas's turn to come up to bat. The first baseman for the Bulldogs, she'll step into the left-handed batter's box and try and extend this inning and not have the Bulldogs go down in order. Junker gets the sign from Trees, and the pitch, that's going to be a strike, I believe, on the outside corner. No, it's going to be a ball. So just barely misses that outside corner of the plate, and now it's a 1-0 count to Jordan Thomas. Junker sets, delivers, and this one's popped up into right field. Should be playable, and it is, and it's going to be Weinberger calling off Pinkowski, and the Huskies put down the Bulldogs. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the second inning for the Huskies. It's going to be 6, 7, 8 batters coming up next. Through 1 here in the Husky Dome, we have no score. The Huskies will have their second turn at bat, and it's going to be Maggie Fitzgerald, Sophie Calhoun, and Alexander Pinkowski for the Huskies as they try and maybe replicate what they had in that first inning. They had a chance to maybe score, but couldn't quite get it done. Haley Weinberger grounded out to the first baseman to end the inning, but they had Jasmine Estrada on second and Haley McFarland on third. As that first pitch is going to be on the outside part of the plate, and it's now a 1-0 count as the Huskies continue to work Dixon. That first inning, the Huskies did a good job of not swinging at anything out of the zone. They did, however, have one go down looking as this one's fouled away, and that was Raven Van in Langenberg. But overall, the Huskies doing a good job at knowing where the strike zone is early on in this one. 1-1 the count to the Huskies' first baseman. She steps into that right-handed batter's box. This is her first at-bat of the day as she fouls this one away again for a second strike. Maggie Fitzgerald so far this season batting .327. She has 16 hits, 4 home runs, and 17 RBIs. She's got 30 total bases. That slugging percentage, something that Mitch Roberts has really been preaching, is at .612 as she swings through that one for a strikeout. The second strikeout so far by the Lauren Dixon, who is one of the top in strikeouts and one of the top pitchers in the NSIC. Sophie Calhoun will step into the box. She'll step into that right-handed batter's box to hopefully try and get on for the Huskies. First pitch to her, that's going to be low below the knees for ball 1. Sophie Calhoun, so far this season, batting .262, 11 hits, 4 doubles, as that one's low. She's also got 3 walks, and she's batting a .429 slugging percentage, so something, again, that this Huskies team has really tried to pick up on, as here's the pitch popped up, and that'll be foul. As we continue this one, as it is a 2-1 count now to the Huskies' second baseman. Get a new ball here to Dixon, and we'll resume play here as
Calhoun steps back into that right-hander's batter's box with a 2-1 count. And that's going to be a change-up for a strike, and that is going to be something that I have a feeling that Dixon is going to feature a lot today to really keep the Husky hitters honest. She's thrown it a couple of times in big spots to come back and even the count, and she does there with a 2-2 count. The fourth pitch. This one's going to be lined into left field. That's going to get down for a hit, and Sophie Calhoun is going to get on with a one-out base hit, and the Huskies looking to replicate that first inning. They started off both innings with a strikeout, and now a one-out single puts their first runner on, and now Alexander Pikowski will step into the batter's box, the center fielder for the Huskies, wearing number 12. With a runner on, and Sophie Calhoun. That's on the outside, but it's going to catch the plate for a strike one. That had a little bit of mustard on it. You could almost hear it probably on the stream. Lauren Dixon, that's one of the reasons why that changeup is so effective, is because she does pitch in the upper part of the strike zone with that fastball, and that's a big swing and a miss by Pinkowski, and quickly an 0-2 hole for the Huskies center fielder. After this, it'll be Brooke Bolin getting her first at-bats of the day. And big swing and a miss, and the third strikeout for Lauren Dixon as she looks to settle in after a rough first inning. Not because of her, but mostly because of the fielding and throwing error that let Jasmine Estrada continue the inning, and now it'll be Brooke Bolin coming up for the Huskies. Bolin batting .194 so far this season. She started in 20 games. Big swing and a miss there for strike one. Runner on first for the Huskies. Sophie Calhoun got a single into left field, but that is all that we've had in this inning. 2 strikeouts. A swinging bunt there is going to be a strike. Actually, she just showed bunt, but couldn't get it back in time, and now it's going to be a 0-2 count. Brooke Bolin trying to extend the Huskies in the second inning. Big swing and a miss, and that's the fourth strikeout for Lauren Dixon. She surrenders one hit, but she gets around it with 3 strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the second inning. No runs so far for either team. The 4, 5, 6 batters for UMD will try and change that after this. So as we get into the bottom of the second inning, it'll be Swank coming up to bat. She's the designated player for this Bulldogs team. Kelly Swank wearing the number 31 as she takes a step into the right-handed batter's box and tries to get the Bulldogs offense rolling. So far, no runs on no hits for the Bulldogs. This one's fouled back, and it is quickly an 0-1 count. Trinity Junker was going throw for throw in that first inning with Lauren Dixon. And, well, Lauren Dixon came back with 3 strikeouts of her own. And that's going to be high for ball one. But that's going to be the MO of today's game. It's probably going to be pitching and fielding. And whoever makes that crucial mistake is really going to end up paying. As this one's popped up and going to be caught by the head table there, and it's going to be a 1-2 count for the leadoff batter in the second inning in Kelly Swank. And the pitch is going to be low and away for ball 2, and it's going to even the count at 2-2. Swank really trying to work the count, something that really didn't work for the Bulldogs early on in that first inning, as this one's fouled away, and this is probably the longest at-bat so far for any Bulldog hitter, as we continue this one with a 2-2 count. After Swank, it'll be the catcher Zavarol for the Bulldogs. 2-2 pitch. This one's lined into center field, and it's going to be Pinkowski that gets under it for a nice sliding catch for out number 1, and Pinkowski laying it out there on the field, laying out there, and well, she gets out number 1, and Swank has to take the long walk back to the dugout.
Catcher Sydney Zavarol.
Zavarol will now step into the batter's box and try and be the first Bulldog to get a hit after that hit by Swank was stolen by Pinkowski in center, and that one's high and away for ball 1. So far this season for Zavarol, she's batting .279. She's got 17 hits, and she's got 9 RBIs as this one's fouled, and nice job by Trees to keep that in front of her, and it's now going to be a 1-2 count, or 1-1 count. 1-1 pitch low below the knees, and it's now 2-1 for the catcher for the Bulldogs. Junker gets the sign from Sydney Trees, sets and delivers, and that's right down Main Street for strike number 2. It's now 2-2 the count for Trinity Junker as she tries to put away her second gal on strikeouts. And that's going to be low, and that's going to move the count to full, so 3-2 the count with 1 away here in the bottom of the second inning. No score between these two NSIC rivals, as we are in the bottom of the second, game 1 of 2 today, and this one's going to be grounded, and it's going to be fielded by Van den Langberg. The throw on to first, not in time, and that's going to be the first hit for the Bulldogs as Zavarol gets on with 1 away here in the bottom of the second inning. Now it's going to be Burkhart for the Bulldogs. Center fielder.
Kate Burkhart.
Burkhart this season has been one of the top hitters for the Bulldogs as she grounds this one to first. And it's just going to be one play for Fitzgerald, and she's going to tag out Burkhart, but Zavarol moves on to second on the fielder's choice. So 2 down here for the Bulldogs as Gronholz comes up to bat. Runner in scoring position in Zavarol on second. 2 down, Junker trying to work out of this one. First runner on base for the Bulldogs as she takes ball high. It's 1-0. Gronholz, one of the lower batting averages for the Bulldogs, batting .173. Takes this one for a strike on the outside part of the plate, as that one really had a lot of movement going from left to right. Not something you see a lot of in softball because of the motion going from up or low to high. And this one's going to be a changeup, popped up. Fitzgerald gets under it, and the Bulldogs are retired without a hitch here as they go down with 1 hit, 1 on, and nobody coming across for the Bulldogs. We go to the top of the third inning here in the Husky Dome after this. Welcome back to the KVSC Sports Stream and the NSIC Network as we go back to the top of the order for the St. Cloud State Huskies. It'll be Raven Van in Langenberg. She's been a little active in the field. She's 0 for 1, though, in the batter's box. She was caught looking to start off the game, and hopefully for her, she's looking to maybe not have that happen again as she takes ball 1. That's that change up on the inside, just barely missed the inner part of the plate, and it's now a 1-0 count to the Huskies shortstop. 1-0 the count to Langenberg as she grounds this one up the middle past Lauren Dixon. She threw up her glove trying to put her glove on it, but instead it just popped right out and went right up the center of the field, and it's a first hit for the Huskies here in the 3rd inning. Now coming up to bat for the Huskies, it'll be Haley McFarland. She's 1 for 1. She singled right up the middle, got it past Schmidt in the 1st inning. She got as far as 3rd base, but couldn't quite come home. Big swing and a miss there on the first pitch, and it's going to be 0-1. Going to want to look out for Raven Van Langenberg there on first base. She's one of those gals that can take off when she wants to. 0-1 pitch, shown bunt there by McFarland, and she's going to bring it back for ball 1. 1-1 now the count. So far for the Huskies, they actually gave Jasmine Estrada a hit there, so it's going to be she reached second on a throwing error. So 4 hits so far for the Huskies as this one's going to be fouled away on a bunt there by McFarland, and it's going to even the count at 2. Or it's going to bring the count to 1-2, I should say. Top of the 3rd inning, no score between these two teams yet. First game of NSIC play for both of these teams as well. Looking to get that first win as this one's fouled back, and it's now going to remain a 1-2 count. McFarland stepping back into the right-handed batter's box. She's got Raven Van Langenberg on first base, trying to put some pressure on Lauren Dixon. Swing and a miss, and that's going to be strikeout number 5 for Lauren Dixon. She continues to deal here in the dome. And now it's going to be Sydney Trees coming up to bat, the catcher for the Huskies. She's 0 for 1 so far with a fly out to center field. Going to try and move over the shortstop, Raven Van Langenberg, who is currently residing on first base. This one's a line past the pitcher, and that's going to get into the gap. So Raven Van Langenberg going to third base. She's going to be waved around. She's going to go home, and a big one-out double for the Huskies. Put them on top, 1-0. Big one-out double from the catcher, and that's one of the reasons she's in that number 3 spot. She's been just a solid hitter throughout, and she lines that one past the glove of Dixon, and it finds the gap in right center field, and now all of a sudden the Huskies are up 1-0, and Jasmine Estrada coming up to bat. So you can't really take a batter off. You have to refocus here if you're Lauren Dixon, as this one's lined into left field. This is going to get down for a hit, and it's going to be waved around. The throw home is going to be in time, and that's going to be out number 2, but Jasmine Estrada takes second base. So Trees gets caught trying to take home, but Jasmine Estrada gets to second. And that brings up Haley Weinberger. 3 hits so far for the Huskies. They've had 1 come across already. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a talk about how that throw to the plate came in and if maybe Zavarol was blocking the plate, but Roberts is going to go back to third base, and Weinberger's going to come up to bat. 1-0 is your new score here from the Husky Dome as the Huskies look to try and extend that newfound lead. Estrada on second, 2 away. Big swing and a miss there by Weinberger. Oh, 0-1 the count to Weinberger. As Lauren Dixon slowing it down as this one's going to be grounded to Bender. The throw on to first in time. And that'll do it for the third inning. But not before they get 1 run here on 3 hits. They leave 1. New score from the Husky Dome. 1-0 Huskies on top of the Bulldogs. Welcome back to the KVSC Sports Stream and NSIC Sports Network here as we have the 8-9-1 batters coming up for the Bulldogs. It'll be Schmidt leading off for the Bulldogs. She swings through that first pitch high, and it's going to be strike 1, that rising ball from Trinity Junker, very deceptive. And when she has it on, you better watch out. She has one of the top strikeout numbers, as mentioned in the pregame. And that's one of the reasons why, is she throws this one outside for ball 1, and it evens count at 1. Huskies up 1-0 after that third inning. They had 3 runs and 1 come across. Sydney Trees almost made it 2, but she was thrown out at home as that one's right down Main Street for strike number 2. Jasmine Estrada trying to extend the lead, and she almost did, as mentioned, but Sydney Trees thrown out. And that is going to be outside for ball number 2, and it's now a 2-2 count to Schmidt, the second baseman for the Bulldogs. The right-handed batter steps back in to the batter's box. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. Trinity Junker winds in, delivers. That's a nice changeup, just a little high though. And it's now a 3-2 count to the leadoff batter here in the third inning for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs playing from behind here as this is a big swing and a miss there from Schmidt, and it's strikeout number 2 on the day for Trinity Junker.
Right fielder McKenna Bursley.
So now coming up to bat, the right fielder Bursley for the Bulldogs. This is her first at bat as well. First pitch to her is going to be a ball or a strike right on the outer part of the plate. Just catching the black there. Maybe going the way of Trinity Junker there, but nevertheless, it's an 0-1 count. And this one's fouled back, and it's now 0-2, and quickly in the hole is the number 9 batter for the Bulldogs. Bursley so far this season batting .217. She's got 1 RBI. She's got 10 hits, but all of them singles so far as we get a time. And it looks like we're maybe going to be talking about the batter and batters moving forward in the batter's box and making sure they stay in the batter's box. You know, slap hitting is a big thing in softball, but you want to make sure you stay in the batter's box and not get out that way, as this one's going to be a ball on the outside part of the plate. Bursley, final hitter in this lineup for the Bulldogs. After that, it'll go back to the top of the order in the center fielder, Bender. And the pitch, this one's fouled down the third base line, and it remains a 1-2 count. Bursley, as mentioned, all of her hits so far up to this point in the season have been singles, and well, her team wouldn't mind getting one here. Only one hit so far for the Bulldogs. 1-2 pitch, check swing, and that's going to be a ball. So 2-2 the count now to Bursley, as she's going to take a quick breather and then step back into that left-handed batter's box. McFarland playing in on the third base side. That's outside just barely, and it's now a 3-2 count for Bursley, who has come back in this at-bat after an 0-2 start. It's now a full count at 3-2. Junker gets the sign from Trees, winds in, delivers the payoff pitch, and that's ball 4. So the first walk given by either pitcher so far today, and maybe a crucial one to get this Bulldogs team going. Kiana Bender now coming up for the Bulldogs. 0 for 1. She grounded out to start off the Bulldogs offense. In the bottom of the first inning, she grounded out to Fitzgerald. Bursley on first, as that's going to be a strike on the outer half of the plate. 1 out. Schmidt started off this inning with a big swing and a miss for strike 3, and then Bursley came in and went 0-2 quickly and worked her way back to get a walk. And that's going to be a ball on the outer half of the plate, just a little bit more than that last pitch was, and now it's a 1-1 count. As Bender steps back into the left-handed batter's box. This is high for another ball, and now Junker behind in the count. Haven't seen Junker in a lot of trouble. That second inning, Zavarol reached second, but never really had a chance to score with 2 outs. Pitch, swing, and a miss there, and it's a big strike for the pitcher. Now a 2-2 count. One pitch away from maybe getting her third strikeout. The 2-2 wind up and delivery, and that's fouled away, and it remains a 2-2 count. Runner on first after a walk is Bursley. As we reach the top of the order, the second at-bats here for the UMD Bulldogs as Bender leads them off. She's in a 2-2 count with 1 away. 2-2 pitch, that's high and runs the count full. So once again, another full count here for Trinity Junker. Don't want to walk 2 straight batters after getting that first strikeout. 3-2 payoff pitch. This one's lifted into left center, and it'll be Bolin getting under it for out number 2. And it's a good way to come back after walking the second batter of the inning, and now it'll be Emma Frost. Frost so far today, she's one of the 2 strikeout victims of Trinity Junker. She struck out in the first inning looking, and the first pitch to her is going to be a strike again. Runner on first, as we mentioned in Bursley, with that 1-out walk. Bender, just the last at-bat, flew out to Brooke Bolin in left field. 0-1 pitch, another strike, and that's an 0-2 count here to Emma Frost, and she's on the verge of striking out for the second time today. Step back into that right-handed batter's box and try and stay alive in an 0-2 count. Runner on first, and that's outside for ball 1. Junker trying to maybe nibble on the edges, try and get Frost to maybe swing at something, but Frost holding back and working the count just a little bit longer here. 1-2 the count. Payoff pitch, that's low, and that's going to get away from Trees. And, of course, Versailles will move up 45 feet on a little bit of a wild pitch. That one kind of got into the dirt, and Trees, just for a second, lost control of it, but Versailles with the speed getting to second base out of that. And time called here. Two the count to Emma Frost. Umpire had to get a clarification there, but we're all set for the 2-2 pitch from Junker. That's a ball just on the inside there, and that is one that you want to get if you're either the catcher or the pitcher. And even Sydney Trees is gonna turn around and just be like, really? Is that where we're gonna draw the line? So the 3-2 pitch coming, and this one's popped up, and that's gonna hit the top of the Husky Dome, and that's gonna be caught, and it was hit into fair play, so that's going to be an out for the Huskies, or for the Bulldogs, and they go down. They do get one walk, and they leave one. The score remains 1-0 here in the Husky Dome. We'll go to the top of the fourth inning after this. So heading into the top of the fourth inning, it's 1-0 Huskies on top of the Bulldogs. The Huskies getting their first run in that third inning as Raven Vanden Langenberg scored on a one-out Sydney Trees double, and that's where we sit so far. Coming up for the Huskies, it's going to be the 6, 7, 8 hitters with Maggie Fitzgerald leading them off in the fourth inning. Fitzgerald is 0 for 1 so far today. She was the second strikeout victim of Lauren Dixon, and Dixon currently sitting at 5 right now. She's been dealing with just that one mistake as this one's fouled away. After Maggie Fitzgerald, it would be Sophie Colhane and then Pinkowski. 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Huskies as we currently see Maggie Fitzgerald step into the right-handed batter's box. That's going to be a check swing for a strike, and it's now 0-2 to the Huskies' first baseman. Zavarol gives the sign to Dixon as this one's fouled away, and it's going to remain 0-2 to start the top of the fourth inning for the Huskies. Huskies have 6 hits so far today. On the other side, well, only 1 for the Bulldogs. Although the Bulldogs do have the only walk so far today. Big swing and a miss there, and that's strikeout number 6 for Lauren Dixon as she continues to be on fire, getting swing and misses from this Husky lineup. Now up to bat, the second baseman for the Huskies, Sophie Colhane. She has 1 hit so far in her 1 appearance in the second inning. She had a single. She steps back into the right-hand batter's box, takes the ball low and away for the first pitch, and it's now 1-0 count. Looking at the standings right now, these two teams with Duluth currently in the middle of the pack. So is the Huskies as we get the NSIC play underway, as that's another ball. But only a couple of teams so far have played in NSIC action. Those two teams, those four teams, Minot State, Augustana, Sioux Falls, and Southwest Minnesota State. So this one's grounded past the third baseman, foul. And Fitzgerald will do it again. These two teams, long history between each other, and another chapter getting started here today as we start the 2022 season of NSIC play between two hated rivals, the Bulldogs and the Huskies. Pitch, this one's fouled away again, and it's going to be Fitzgerald staying alive here in the top of the fourth inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Colhane, I should say. Fitzgerald struck out to start the inning. 2-2 the count, nobody on, 1 out. Big swing and a miss, and that's strikeout number 7 for Lauren Dixon. She has just been dealing from the beginning of this one. In that second inning, she had 3 strikeouts. Struck out Fitzgerald, Colhane, and Fitzgerald, Pinkowski, and Bolin, I should say. And she's looking to maybe strike out the side here in the fourth inning as Pinkowski steps into the batter's box. Pinkowski 0 for 1, as mentioned. She struck out in the second inning as she shows bunt. Pulls it back for ball 1. 1-0. The count to the Huskies center fielder. Huskies trying not to go down 1-2-3. Pitch once again showing bunt, and that's going to be a strike as Pinkowski couldn't put a barrel on the ball. It's going to even the count at 1-1 with 2 outs here in the top of the fourth inning. 1-0 your score here on the KVSC Sports Stream and the NSIC Network. The pitch, that's going to be a strike, and it's now a 1-2 count to the center fielder for the Huskies. Trying not to strike out for the second time today as Pinkowski steps back in, trying to foul off or maybe get something on it. She does foul it off, fouls this one back, and it's going to remain a 1-2 count. If the inning were to continue, Brooke Bolin would come up to bat for the Huskies. She sits in that number 9 hole. But first, Pinkowski needs to reach base. And that's going to be low and in the dirt, and it's going to be a 2-2 count now for the center fielder. Pinkowski batting .245 on the year. Got 5 RBIs. And pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 1-2-3 for the Huskies as they are sat down in order, all on strikeouts. And now we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Our score remains 1-0 here on the KVSC Sports Stream and NSIC Network. Welcome back to the Husky Dome. Our score remains 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. It's going to be the 3-4-5 hitters for the Bulldogs with Thomas, Swank, and Zavarol coming up to bat.
Leading up for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Thomas in the first inning, she flew out to right field. Bulldogs being held in check offensively so far. They've only had 2 runners on. As one hit and one walk is where they stand, as that's going to be a ball on the outside corner as Trinity Junker gets underway here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Jordan Swank, the first baseman for the Bulldogs. As mentioned, she was 0 for 1 so far today. Trying to get another hit for the Bulldogs as she looks at that one on the outer part of the plate for a strike. It's now 1-1. Top of the fourth inning here in the Husky Dome. And that's a big swing and a miss at the changeup. And Trinity Junker fooled Jordan Thomas all the way on that changeup. Pulled something there, and it is now a 1-2 count. And Junker has Thomas on the back heels. 1-2 payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, and another strikeout for Trinity Junker. Her third of the day. Not quite what Lauren Dixon has been putting up, but she has been just as effective and currently in line for a win if the score were to withstand. Now coming up, Kelly Swank for the Bulldogs. Another gal that's 0 for 1. She flew out to right field as well. As she takes a ball low and in the turf for ball 1. Swank led off the second inning, flying out to Weinberger, and so far these two pitchers have had very different approaches as the pitch is going to be fouled away. But looks like Junker is using more of her defense and, having her defense do a majority of the work, while on the other side, Lauren Dixon has been doing it herself. 8 strikeouts so far on the day for her. And the pitch, this one's high, and it's going to be another ball for the designated player of the Bulldogs. Junker winds and delivers. That's ball high, and it's going to be a 3-1 count. As she tries to work maybe a quicker inning than the previous one. And so far, Junker has been working pretty quick as she grounds this one foul. But Junker, so far, as mentioned, she's been working pretty quick. But last inning, she did give up that walk that kind of, made her slow down a little bit more than she probably would have liked to. As we have a full count for the designated player in Kelly Swank. The 3-2 pitch, swing and a tip. And it's going to be a 3-2 count still after Swank gets maybe an inch of that one. After Swank, it'll be the catcher, Zavarol, for the Bulldogs, who has the only hit. As this one's popped up, and this is going to go foul. Good heads-up play by both Trees and McFarland to communicate to each other that they thought this one was going foul, and it ended up going foul, and it's going to remain a 3-2 count to the designated player. Long at-bat here for Kelly Swank, giving her teammates a lot of good looks. Junker sets and delivers. This one's fouled again. So the battle continues between these two. No one willing to give an inch. Swank stepping back into the right-handed batter's box and trying to work her way on. And this one's grounded right past McFarland and past Langenberg, and it's going to be a one-out base hit for Kelly Swank, and that's the second hit for the Bulldogs so far today.
Catcher, Sydney Zavarol.
So coming up to bat will be Zavarol, who has the other hit up to this point. Hit a single in the second inning. Made it to second base on a little bit of a weird pitch in the dirt. That only got away from Trees for a second, but it was enough for Zavarol to reach second as she lays down a bunt. This is going to be fielded by Junker. The throw on to first is not going to be there. It's going to be offline. And Swank is going to make her way to third, and now runners on first and third with nobody out. Or one out, I should say. So runner on third is Swank, and Zavarol reaches on an error. Trinity Junker just throwing offline to Fitzgerald, and now she's in a little bit of trouble with one out. The pitch, that's high. The throw down to second is going to be uncontested as Trees thinks better of it, and now runners on second and third with one down in the bottom of the fourth inning. A lot longer of an inning here for the Huskies' Trinity Junker, as she has now two runners to deal with, and this is maybe the biggest jam that she has had to face so far up to this point. She's only had a couple runners on at either time, as we're going to get a pinch runner for the Bulldogs.
For the Bulldogs, number 3, Cora Meyer.
Cora Meyer will be coming in for Zavarol. So Meyer on second after that pinch hit, or pinch runner, and that's going to be low for another ball. Trinity Junker in a little bit of a jam trying to get out of this one. 1-0 is the score in favor of the Huskies. They are going to try and continue that as this one's fouled back for strike one. 2-1 the count now to Burkhart. Burkhart 0 for 1 on a fielder's choice. And she steps into this right-handed batter's box for her second at bat. Currently ahead 2-1. She lines this one into right field. That is going to be right there for Bolin to get it. She is not going to get the relay in time, and now it's going to be a 1-1 game as Burkhart with a sac fly gets a big one-run across for the Bulldogs. That'll be Gronholz coming up for the Bulldogs. Gronholz, so far, she is 0 for 1. She flew out to Maggie Fitzgerald earlier in this one. This is going to be a low and in pitch for ball one to start off Gronholz. Left fielder stepping back in. Now Junker getting the sign from Trees. Sets and delivers. That's going to be fouled back, and it is now going to be a 1-1 count to the right, or to the left fielder for the Bulldogs. Currently 1-1 is our score. And Meyer on second after being pinch run for Zavarol. The pitch, that's going to be a strike on the outer half of the plate. And it's now a 1-2 count to the left fielder of the Bulldogs. Trinity Junker trying to get out of here with just a little hurt. Runner on second, 2 down. Bottom of the fourth inning, game 1 of 1. 1-1 is our score. It's recently changed. That's a ball just outside. It's now going to be a 2-2 count to the left fielder. So the 2-2 pitch from Junker. And this one's hit into center field. It's going to hit the top of the dome, and it's going to be caught by Pinkowski for out number 3, and that one was maybe going out of here, but instead it hits that top of the dome and it ends the threat from the Bulldogs. New score from the Husky Dome, 1-1 here on the KVSC Sports Stream. So for the Huskies, it'll be the 9-1-2 batters coming up for them, and Brooke Bolin to start them off. Then it'll be Vannon Langenberg and Haley McFarland after that. Huskies now tied once again with the Bulldogs after the Bulldogs getting a big one-run across, putting together a base hit and a throwing error and a sac fly to bring across Kelly Swank. First pitch to Brooke Bolin is going to be a big swing and a miss for strike number 1 here in the top of the 5th inning. Scheduled for 7 innings in this one so far. We are through 4. 1-1 is our score, as this one is going to be a ball on the outer part. Zavarol kept it there just for an extra second trying to get the call. Doesn't go her way, and it will be a 1-1 count to the outfielder for the Huskies. Bolin fouls this one back, and it's now 1-2 the count. Brooke Bolin struck out in the 2nd inning, and that's all she has up to this point. Last inning for the Huskies, not a good one, probably one they're going to want to forget. 3 strikeouts as they went down 1-2-3. Fitzgerald, Colhane, and Pinkowski all striking out. And right now, Lauren Dixon is sitting at 8 strikeouts on the day. And the 1-2 pitch, this one's fouled away into the Bulldogs dugout, and it's going to remain a 1-2 count. Brooke Bolin, one of the girls that if she gets on base, you better pay special attention. She has a lot of speed up there in the top Huskies to steal bags, and pitch, that's going to be grounded right back up to Dixon. The throw on to first in time. And it's going to be a 1-3 put out to start off the 5th inning here for the Huskies. So far today, the Huskies have out-hit the Bulldogs 6-2. It's just they haven't been able to get anyone over and in. They've been getting them on. Now coming up to bat, it's going to be Raven Vannon Langenberg, and the only gal to get over and in. She had a single in 3rd inning that brought her around to score. Sydney Trees and her double, as that's going to be a strike on the outer part of the plate. And it's 0-1 to the Huskies shortstop. After Vannon Langenberg, it'll be the 3rd baseman Haley McFarland for the Huskies. A pitch, this one's lined right to Schmidt. The throw on to first is going to be in time, so a 4-3 put out. And a quick inning so far for Warren Dixon.
3rd baseman Haley McFarland.
Now coming up to bat for the Huskies, it'll be Haley McFarland. So far today, she is 1 for 2. She has a single and a strikeout to her name. Trying to extend the inning here for the Huskies, as trying not to go down 1-2-3 for the 2nd straight inning, as she takes a ball low. And it's now 1-0 the count to the Huskies' 3rd baseman. Dixon gets the sign from Zavarol, winds and delivers. That's low again for ball 2. 2-0 the count now. If you're Dixon, you really want to come back and get this first strike of the at-bat. You do not want to risk going 3-0 to McFarland, as she does get that first pitch across for a strike, and it's now a 2-1 count. McFarland probably has a pitch in mind here. She wants to hit off Dixon. She's already gotten one, as that one's high and inside, and it moves the count to 3-1. Now McFarland can be a little choosy with this next pitch. Hitters count. She steps back in. Dixon gets a sign from Zavarol. Dixon trying to put down the Huskies 1-2-3. McFarland has other ideas as she takes ball 4 low, and that's the first walk for the Huskies today, and it's a big one as that extends the inning.
Catcher, Sydney Trees.
Now coming up to bat, it's going to be Sydney Trees, who has an RBI double, and she also has a fly out to center. She was thrown out in the 3rd inning trying to take home. Just couldn't quite get there in time, and now the first pitch to Trees is going to catch that outer part of the plate for strike 1. Trees, one of the power bats in this Husky lineup, showing it so far today with that single RBI double. 0-1 pitch to her. That's going to be low and away, and it's going to even the count at 1. Trees, as mentioned earlier in the broadcast, batting .357 on the year. She's got 25 hits, 3 doubles, 9 home runs. The 9 home runs leads the NSIC. She's also got 22 RBIs, as this one is going to be a ball outside, almost in the exact same location. And it's now going to be a 2-1 count to one of the power hats in the Huskies lineup. And now Zavarol is going to talk Lauren Dixon maybe a little away from the ledge here, as she has fallen behind in one of the more dangerous batters in the Husky lineup with a runner on in Haley McFarland. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. 1-1 is your score here in the Husky Dome. Both these teams will have that extra game after this one. Hope you join us, as we're going to have Sydney Trees call time and maybe try and mess with Lauren Dixon's wind-up delivery. So now we get back into the batter's box. The pitch, check swing, and that's going to be appeal. And no, she did not go around, so it's going to be another ball, and it's going to be 3-1 the count now to Sydney Trees. And she can also be a little choosy here. So 2 straight 3-ball counts for Huskies here, and that's going to be ball 4 and another walk for the Huskies, as now Haley McFarland moves on to second and Sydney Trees moves on to first, and Jasmine Estrada comes up to bat. But after 4 innings of not giving up a walk, Lauren Dixon has given up 2 straight here with 2 out in the 5th inning. Jasmine Estrada now coming up to bat. She is 2 for 2. She's gotten a double in the 3rd inning, and then she got a single in the 1st that also had a throwing error that allowed her to advance to second. And looks like Thomas will also give some encouraging words to Lauren Dixon, and we're going to get a pinch runner here for the Huskies for Haley McFarland. As Jasmine Estrada steps in to the batter's box. Lefty trying to break this one open and regain the lead for the Huskies. First pitch to her, that's low for ball 1.
Pinch running at second base, Caitlin Isvanovich.
Isvanovich will be pinch running for McFarland. And the 0-1 pitch, or 1-0 pitch, is going to be a swing and a miss there by Jasmine Estrada. Evens the count at 1. Zvanovic on second. Trees on first. 2 down here in the top of the 5th inning. Huskies and Bulldogs tied 1-1 in game 1 of 2. And this one's hit into left field. This one has a chance to get out on the warning track. Gone! And Jasmine Estrada with a big 3-run blast puts the Huskies up 4-1 on top of the much-hated UMD Bulldogs. An absolute shot to left field, and it breaks the tie here, and Jasmine Estrada does what she does best, and that is hit the ball out of the ballpark. 3 RBIs for her in this one, and she continues to hit well. She was coming into that at bat 2 for 2. She's now 3 for 3. And the wall did come down in left field there, but we're going to have some of the spectators help out and bring that wall back up. But Gronholz ran all the way back to the wall and just couldn't quite catch up with that shot. And it is now 4-1 in favor of the Huskies, and they have broken this one open here in the 5th inning on a Jasmine Estrada home run. Now coming up for the Huskies, it's going to be Haley Weinberger. She's looking for her first hit, and, well, if anything, for her and the team, you want to get this on. You want to continue this as she follows this one back, and it's 0-1. Weinberger so far, she grounded it out to first base, and then she grounded out to short. And that's her stat card up to this point. She steps back into the left-handed batter's box. 0-1 the count to the Huskies outfielder. Trying to continue this inning as that one's going to be a changeup just low, and it's going to even the count at 1. And this one's hit into center field, and that's going to get down for a bloop ground rule double, actually, and it's going to be a 2-out double for Haley Weinberger. So the Huskies continue to hit here in the 5th inning. This is Jasmine Estrada's 2nd home run of the year. It was a big one. She did not miss. Now coming up for the Huskies with a runner on second after Haley Weinberger getting a ground rule double, it'll be Maggie Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald up to this point 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. She struck out in the 2nd and 4th inning. Now she'll get a second shot, or a third shot, I should say, at Lauren Dixon, as we're gonna maybe have a new pitcher come in, and yes, we will, for the Bulldogs. And that's going to do it for Lauren Junker's day, or not Lauren Dixon's day, and she's still responsible for Haley Weinberger on second base, so the book isn't closed on her day just yet, but she came in and she was doing well right up until this 5th inning, where actually she was even doing well in this 5th inning. She started off getting the first 2 batters of the inning in Boland and Vanden Langenberg, but then McFarland worked a walk, and then Sydney Trees also worked a walk, and well, then Jasmine Estrada came up and she put an exclamation mark on a ball that went into left field and got out of here in a hurry, and it's 4-1 now our score, but 8 strikeouts, not something to really scoff at if you're the Bulldogs. She had a pretty good outing, just ran into a buzzsaw in Jasmine Estrada. So it'll be the first baseman for the Huskies to take on the new pitcher for the Bulldogs. And this one's going to be grounded foul. Pitching for the Bulldogs, it's going to be Hartman. As Fitzgerald steps back into the batter's box with an 0-1 count. Pitch from Hartman, that's going to be ball. Hartman, so far this year, she's got a 2.25 ERA. She's appeared in 3 games, and she's pitched 9 1/3 innings. Opponents are batting .386 off her. As this one's hit into center field, it's going to be a pop-up. Should be playable for Burkhart, and it is. And the Huskies are retired here in the 5th inning. The Huskies, though, do get 2 hits. They get 3 runs on a big Jasmine Estrada home run, her second of the year. And it's a 4-1 game here in the Husky Dome. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th after this. So welcome back to the Husky Dome, as the Huskies are currently up 4-1 on top of the Bulldogs, as Trinity Junker will now step back onto the mound and try and finish this one out and try and hold on to that lead. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Schmidt, Bolsey, and Bender coming up for the Bulldogs, as we started off with a ball on the outside part for Bolsey. Bulldogs up to this point, only 2 hits to their name, as this is going to be another ball on the outside part of the plate. They also only have 1 walk so far, but they did get that run in the 4th inning off a single and a throwing error, and then also a sac fly by Burkhart. Eventually scored Swank, as this one's fouled away, and it's going to bring the count to 2-1. McFarland will return to third base after being pinch run for by Esavanovich in that 5th inning. 2-1 is going to be a strike, and it evens the count at 2. So far today, Schmidt is 0 for 1. She has 1 strikeout to her name, and the pitch is going to be ball that's going to be a strike, so it's going to even the count at 3, or it's going to move the count to full 3-2. Now the count to the second baseman of the Bulldogs. 3-2 payoff pitch. This grounded foul right past McFarland on that third base side. We'll do it again. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-1 is our score after Jasmine Estrada hit a 3-run shot in the top of the 5th to break it open for the Huskies. This is game 1 of 2. Second game scheduled for a 2 o'clock start, as this one's fouled back, and it is going to remain a 3-2 count. As the second baseman for the Bulldogs steps back in, trying to make some noise of her own, as that's going to be a ball for Cole, and it's only the 2nd walk issued by Junker today. And it's a crucial one because it's a leadoff.
Bursley.
So Bursley will come up to bat. She is not recorded a at-bat yet. She walked in the third inning, and that's all she's had up to this point. As this one's fouled back, and it is now an 0-1 count. Bursley, the right fielder for the Bulldogs, got all the way to second base in that third inning walk, but couldn't make anything out of it. Shows bunt, pulls it back for a ball. And Trees was thinking that maybe Schmidt was going to go there, but Schmidt walks back to first. It's a 1-1 count to the right fielder, Bursley of the Bulldogs. 1-1 pitch, another bunt attempt here. McFarland fields it easily to throw on to first in time. And that's the first out of this one, 5-3 put out. And we go back to the top of the order, but Schmidt does reach second there.
Shortstop, Kiana Bender.
Bender now coming up to bat. She's 0 for 2. She's grounded out to Fitzgerald, and she flew out to Bolin. Made a couple plays in the field so far at that shortstop position, as she grounds this one foul down the first baseline, fielded by Fitzgerald, but won't matter any as she throws it back to Junker, and we continue here now with an 0-1 count on the shortstop for the Bulldogs. Bender in the left-handed batter's box. Swing and a miss at the rise ball there, and it's now an 0-2 count to Bender, who is maybe in danger of being the fourth strikeout by Trinity Junker today. That'd be a big strikeout for Junker as well, with a runner on second and one away. And this is going to be just fouled back, and Bender will stay alive here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And that's actually going to be a strikeout there for Bender. And then she becomes that fourth strikeout victim of Trinity Junker. So now 2 down after a leadoff walk.
Third baseman, Emma
And the
Frost.
third baseman, Emma Frost, will step in to the right-handed batter's box. And Frost hasn't had probably the day she wants, but it's been kind of contagious throughout this Bulldog lineup. She's 0 for 2. She hits this one into left field. This one has a little bit of legs on it, but it's going to be Bolin that gets under it, and it's going to be the third out of the inning. So they lead it off with a walk, but they cannot get anything out of it, and the score remains 4-1 after 5 innings here in the Husky Dome. Hartman will stay out there for the Bulldogs as she continues to pitch in this one. She ended that 5th inning for Lauren Dixon. Lauren Dixon on the day gave up 4 runs. And, well, she will, at best, be given maybe a no decision. But right now, her team behind the 8 ball is now for the Huskies after that 7-batter inning. It'll be Sophie Colhane. Huskies brought 7 hitters to the plate last inning, and it showed in the scorecard. 3 runs coming across, 2 hits, 2 walks, And a big Jasmine Estrada home run, as this one's on the outside for ball one for Sophie Colhane, the second baseman for the Huskies. Colhane up to this point, she's 1 for 2. She got a single in the second inning. She's only hit that inning as she takes a strike on the outer part of the plate, just catches the black, and it evens the count at 1. But other than that, I mean, she struck out in the fourth inning, and that's where she is up to this point, getting her third at bat here in the top of the sixth as she grounds this one to the shortstop Bender. Throw on to first in time, and that's going to be a quick 1 up, 1 down for the Huskies.
Center fielder Alexandra Pinkowski.
Now up for the Huskies, it'll be the center fielder Pinkowski. She has also had a little bit of trouble at the plate so far today. She's 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. She struck out in the second and fourth inning. But that was a different pitcher. She now faces Hartman for the first time as Hartman starts her off with a ball, changeup that didn't quite catch the top part of the plate. And you always got to be careful with some of those breaking balls high. Pinkowski steps back into the right-handed batter's box. 1 away here in the top of the fifth inning. That one inside for ball 2. So a quick 2-0 hole for the pitcher, Hartman. Hartman gets a sign from Zavarol, and that's going to be inside for ball number 3. So Christian Hartman, after getting a quick first out, is now behind in the count against the Husky center fielder, 3-0. 3-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike, just barely catching the inside part of the black, and it's now a 3-1 count. But that one, again, was a very questionable, very close. I wouldn't say questionable, it was more close. So the 3-1 pitch, that one's going to be popped up, and it's going to be a foul ball. It did touch the top of the dome, so you always got to make sure that, was it going foul already, or was it going to be in play? And if it was in play and then it was caught, then it's an out. But if it's going to be in play and then it hits the ground foul, then it's going to be just a foul. But here's a 3-1 pitch, and that's going to be a ball 4. So Pinkowski gets on base with a walk here with 1 out, and that brings up Brooke Bolin. Brooke Bolin so far today, she's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and she grounded out to the pitcher in the last inning to start off that fifth inning. Fifth inning actually started off well for Dixon. She got the first 2 out, but just couldn't quite get that last out, and it ended up hurting her as she gave up 3 runs. And that's going to be out there. It looks like Pinkowski is going to be called out on first base for maybe an illegal motion or something. And either way, it's the second out for the Huskies. And Brooke Bolin up to bat. First, that's going to be fouled away, and it's going to be her first strike as it's now a 1-1 count. One and one the count to Brooke Bolin with 2 away here in the top of the fifth, and this one's grounded foul. Top of the sixth, I should say. That one's grounded fouled on the first baseline. So the 1-2 pitch to Brooke Bolin, trying to extend the inning for the Huskies. And that one's high and inside, and it evens the count at 2. The Huskies on top of the Bulldogs here in game 1 of 2, 4-1. They're going to try and cling to that lead as there's only 1.5 innings left. You got that 7th inning. And the bottom of the 6th here, as this one's going to be fouled, and Brooke Bolin doing her best to stay alive and extend the inning for the Huskies and maybe extend their lead. Bolin steps back into the left-handed batter's box. The 2-2 count with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Hartman winds and delivers, and that's going to be grounded up the middle. Hartman fields it on a hop. The throw on to first, not in time. And Bolin beats out the throw, and it's an infield single, and it extends the inning for the Huskies. And now we go back to the top of the order with the shortstop, Raven Vanden Langenberg, coming up to bat. Langenberg, she's 1 for 3. She got a single, and she eventually came around to score in the 3rd inning. Give the Huskies a 1-0 lead. Bulldogs would come back with a run of their own in the 4th inning, and then in the 5th inning, it was Jasmine Estrada getting a home run, as that one's a strike to start off the shortstop for the Huskies. And that's where we remain, 4-1 ball game. As Raven Langenberg steps back into the right-hand batter's box in an 0-1 deficit. Christine Hartman sets and delivers, and that one's going to be grounded to the shortstop, and it's going to be mishandled, and it's going to be a throw into third. Is going to be safe. And now they've got Langenberg in a rundown, and that's going to be a mishap there on the throw to first, and Brooke Bolin's going to come in to score. So the Huskies force a little action on the base pass, and it works out for them as they get a couple of errors, and it brings across a run. So the Huskies lead now 5-1 over the Bulldogs here in the first game of NSIC play, and that's always a good place to be, as that is going to go down as a single for Raven Vanden Langenberg. And now coming up to bat, it'll be Haley McFarland. She's come around to score once. She's 1 for 2 on the day with a walk, 1 single. She's got a runner on second with 2 down, as that's going to be a ball on the outside. Raven Vanden Langenberg on second, 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. Huskies have already brought one across, and Brooke Bolin, the pitch is going to be popped to the right side, and it's going to be foul. And it is now going to be a 1-1 count after a long strike one. McFarland struck out once, and that was in the 3rd inning. And that's the only time she hasn't reached base in this one. Trying to continue that here in the top of the 6th. The pitch that's fouled away, and it's now a 1-2 count. 5th-year senior coming back. Her, Brooke Bolin, and Kylie Thompson, all 5th years, and really setting a tone for this Huskies team. The 1-2 pitch to McFarland from Hartman. It's going to be high, ball 2, and it's now a 2-2 count. This 3rd out not coming easy for Christine Hartman. She has already given up 1 run here in the top of the 6th inning. Granted, it was an unearned run. Every run counts in the NSIC play, as this one's into right field. The catch is going to be made there by Bursley as she slips back on her heels, but it's going to be the 3rd out. The Huskies do bring one across. The new score from the Husky Dome, 5-1. 5-1 is our score as the Bulldogs look to try and cut into that lead and try and continue this one as they are in the bottom of the 6th inning. And coming up for the Bulldogs, it'll be the 3-4-5 hitters in Jordan Thomas, Kelly Swank, and Zavarol. Kelly Thomas up to this point, she's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to right field. Steps into that left-handed batter's box, and Trinity Junker once again out there for the Huskies. First pitch strike right down Main Street. Couldn't ask for it any better. So that's about belt high, middle. And it's 0-1 to start off the first batter for the Bulldogs. Second pitch is going to be outside. Pulled the string on that one. Couldn't quite get a swing out of it, so it's going to even the count at 1-1. Huskies looking to hold on to this lead and go 1-0 in NSIC play early. Second pitch, this is grounded up the middle, and that's going to get past Colhane, and it's going to be a leadoff single for the Bulldogs. First time the Bulldogs have led off with a hit. They have led off with a walk, but they have not led off with a hit. So maybe a little energy in this as Swank steps up to bat here. She is 1 for 2 so far in this as she takes ball 1 as the drop ball bounces right before home plate. And it's going to be a 1-0 count with nobody out and a runner on, with Jordan Thomas leading off the inning with a single. And the pitch, this is going to be grounded foul down third baseline. It was thinking about maybe staying fair, but it's just weakly hit down that third baseline. Ends up trailing foul, and it's now 1-2 the count. And the pitch, swing and a miss, and that is a big strike 2, I should say, as it is now 1-2 the count to Swank. Swank came around and scored the only run so far as she fouls that one off. She came around to score in the 4th inning. She came home to score on a Burkhart sac fly. Trinity Junker trying to get her 5th strikeout of the game. And the pitch outside, and the throw from Trees down to first is going to be all in vain as Fitzgerald won't even apply the tag. Thomas in there safely. The 2-2 pitch is going to be grounded to Haley McFarland, and it's going to be called foul. Good fielding there by McFarland, getting it on the backhand there. It's always tough for third baseman to kind of switch up the glove side and reach across and grab that ball that's probably going foul, but either way, good job. And then big swing and a miss on the rise ball, the 5th strikeout for Trinity Junker. So the Bulldogs led off with a single, and now that Trinity Junker comes back with a strikeout. Now Zavarol will step in. Zavarol has reached base twice, as she lines this one right past a diving Raven Vanden Langenberg, and that's going to get down for a single. Good job by Pinkowski there in center field to field it on a hop and keep Thomas at second. But 2 hits so far here for the Bulldogs, and maybe have something cooking here late in this one. Burkhart now coming up to bat. As mentioned, she has the only RBI for the Bulldogs to this point. She's got a runner in scoring position, bunt shown as she takes this one high for ball one. Runner on second is Thomas. Runner on first is Zavarol. Burkhart batting in a 1-0 count after taking her bunt back in that first pitch. The 1-0 pitch from Junker, and this one's lined into center field. Pinkowski gets under it, and that's going to be an easy out, number two. The throw to third is going to be not in time. And Thomas moves up 45 feet, but a crucial second out there for the Huskies.
Right fielder, Julia Grumbles.
Gronholz will now step into the batter's box for the Bulldogs. She is 0 for 2. She's gotten the ball in the air, but that's been her problem. It's hung up there a little too long. She flew out to first base and then also flew out to center, as that is a big strike one. And Trinity Junker looking to get out of a jam here late in this one. She's holding on to a 5-1 lead, so one run wouldn't necessarily kill her. But you always want to hold on to what you got and get out of innings early, and this is going to be a ball on the outside part of the plate. Evens the count at 1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Runners on first and third. Jordan Thomas led off the inning with a single. Then Zavarol came back after a Swank strikeout, and she got a single. And then a big fly ball by Burkhart into center field moved Thomas up to third base, as that is going to be a ball. The pitch from Junker, that's low and in, and no one going to second there. So runners will remain. It's going to be a 3-1 count to the left fielder for the Bulldogs. Gronholz trying to get her first hit of the game, and it would be a big one, getting that second run. And the pitch, this one's popped up, and that's going to hit the top of the Husky Dome. Raven Van den Langenberg is going to get under it, and it's going to drop, just hit the top of her glove, and it's going to be a foul ball, and we'll redo it. 3-2 the count now with 2 outs, runners on first and third. 5-1 is your score in favor of the Huskies here on the NSIC stream and the KVSE Sports stream. Left fielder for the Bulldogs steps back into the right-handed batter's box, and the 3-2 count. This one's grounded to Haley McFarland. It's going to get past McFarland, though, and 1 run's going to score. And it just ate up McFarland there in the hot corner, and it's going to be a 2-out single, and it's going to bring home a run.
Second baseman, Nicole Schmidt.
So Schmidt will come up to bat for the Bulldogs, and Schmidt so far, she's 0 for 1. She also had a walk last inning. And we're going to have a little bit of a powwow on the mound here, as I'm trying to calm down Trinity Junker and get out of this inning with a little bit of hurt. Bulldogs have runners on first and second. Zavarol on second, Gronholz on first. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here in this first game of NSIC play for both teams. We're gonna break that up and get back into this one here as the Huskies continue to lead 5-2. Final 4 outs here for the Bulldogs. And Schmidt is going to get pinch hit for by Ellie Potts. So Potts will step in to the right-handed batter's box. Elle Potts bats and throws her right-handed, and she's going to try and maybe put some damage into this Huskies lead. Huskies lead by 3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. The first pitch, big swing and a miss there, and Trinity Junker starts Potts out with an 0-1 count. Trinity Junker has been dealing well throughout this one. I imagine she's gonna come out for the 7th if the score were to remain a 5-2 margin, as this one's just outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count now to the pinch hitter, L. Potts. Pinch hitting for the second baseman, Schmidt. Bulldogs have recently pushed across an extra run, or another run, I should say. And it's now a 2-5 game. Big swing and a miss at the rise ball. And Trinity Junker now in control in a 1-2 count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Huskies trying to get out of a little bit of a jam here. So far, they've given up 3 hits, and that's the most they've given up in a single inning. Pitch outside, and that's going to even the count at 2. So 2-2 the count to L. Potts, the pinch hitter. Coming off the bench cold. Trying to inject some life into this Bulldogs lineup. Trinity Junker, though, has other ideas. A 2-2 payoff pitch on its way. Junker sets and delivers. Swing and tips this one, and Potts stays alive. So now, imagine Junker maybe comes back inside with something a little faster after a little bit of a breaking ball on the outer half of the plate. Runners on first and second, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Junker gets a sign from Trees and delivers. That's low for ball 3, and it puts the count full. And it's now a 3-2 count to L. Potts, the pinch hitter for the second baseman of the Bulldogs. Potts steps back into the right-handed batter's box as she faces down Trinity Junker. It's a 3-2 count. The delivery, this is popped up, and this is going to be Langenberg makes the grab, and it's going to be out number 3 there. So a fly out ends the bigger threat. The Bulldogs do get 1 run back, but it's going to remain a 5-2 lead for the Huskies. Christine Hartman will remain out there for the Bulldogs as we go to the top of the 7th inning. The Huskies have a chance to put a bow on this one as they are currently up 5-2. Coming up for the Huskies, it's going to be Sydney Trees, and Trees started off the scoring for the Huskies in the 3rd inning with an RBI double. She actually almost came around to score in that inning as well. She got thrown out at home, as the first pitch to her is going to be a strike. Sydney Trees so far today, she's 1 for 2. She also has a walk. She came around to score in the 5th inning on a big Jasmine Estrada home run. That's really been the difference in this one. And the pitch to Trees, and this one's hit on the ground to Bender. The throw on to first in time, and that's 1 away. And now coming up to bat, Jasmine Estrada. She's 3 for 3 today with 3 RBIs, a single, a double, and a home run. A triple shy of the cycle. Though I'm pretty sure that's maybe not on your mind. Maybe it is, who knows. First pitch to Estrada, and that's going to be grounded over to Schmidt. Schmidt's going to lose control of that one, and Estrada's going to reach base on an error.
Right fielder, Holly Weinberger.
So now Haley Weinberger will step up to the plate. She's 1 for 3 so far today. She's got a double in that 5th inning. She looked to try and continue that 5th inning, but it just didn't work out for the Huskies. But other than that, she's grounded to first base, and then she also grounded to short. And we're going to get a pinch runner here for Jasmine Estrada. It's going to be Lauren Kirchberg for Jasmine Estrada at first. First pitch to Weinberger. It's going to be lined into left center field, and it's going to get down for a hit, and it's going to get past the left fielder, Gronholz, and we're going to hold Lauren Kirchberg at third, but big double there for Haley Weinberger, her 2nd double of the day, and it's just as big. Moves Lauren Kirchberg to third, and now Fitzgerald will come up to bat for the Huskies, and runners on first and third, 1 away. So Maggie Fitzgerald comes up to bat. First pitch to her, that's going to be hit foul, giving the Huskies in the dugout a little jump there. Came right at him. Luckily, there's a little bit of netting that separates the Huskies and the field. So 0-1 to start off the Huskies' first baseman, Maggie Fitzgerald, after a foul ball. That's going to be a ball on the outside part of the plate. Fitzgerald looking for her first hit of the day. She struck out twice and flew out to center in the 5th inning. 1 out, runners on second and third. The pitch to Fitzgerald, fouled back, and it's now 0-2 the count. Fitzgerald steps back into the right-handed batter's box to look down Hartman, and the pitch, this is going to be grounded to the shortstop, and the shortstop's going to be caught in a little bit of a rundown as she throws it back to third, and it looks like we're going to get a run scored here by Kirchberg as she comes around to score, as it looks like Frost was maybe called off there, and maybe someone near second was saying, hey, throw it over to us, but it's going to end up costing them, and the Huskies get another run here. And it extends their lead to 6-2.
Pinch hitting for the Huskies, number 28, Gabby Nelson.
Now Gabby Nelson will come up to bat for Sophie Colhane. Nelson getting her first at bat here. First pitch to her. She lines this one into center field. This has a chance to get down for a hit, but a good job by Burkhart to reel in the third out for the Bulldogs. But the Huskies push another one across and extend their lead to 6-2. As we go to the bottom of the 7th, the Huskies look to end this one out on an exclamation mark here after this. So the last at-bats coming up for the Bulldogs here in game one as they are on the barrel end of a 6-2 game. And the first batter for the Bulldogs coming up will be Bolsey as she lines that one straight into the glove of Haley McFarland for the first out. So quick one pitch, one out for Trinity Junker to start off the bottom of the 7th inning. So now back to the top of the order in Kiana Bender, who is 0 for 3 up to this point. That's going to be a ball, or a strike there, actually. It's going to take the ump just a little extra to call that one, but it's a strike. And the pitch, this one's fouled back, and it's now 0-2 to Bender. Bender has already struck out once, trying not to strike out again. 5 strikeouts so far for Trinity Junker. She has really only faced a little bit of a jam last inning as that one's high for ball 1. One and 2 the count as Junker sets and delivers. This one's popped up and it should be playable, and it is as Weinberger gets under it for out number 2. So quick 2 up, 2 down, and the Huskies now have the Bulldogs down to their final out. So now it'll be the third baseman Frost coming up for the Bulldogs as she lines this one and it gets down into left field for a base hit, her first hit of the day. And Frost extends the life of this Bulldogs team.
First baseman Jordan Thompson.
Jordan Thompson comes up to bat for, or Thomas comes up to bat for the Bulldogs. Thomas came around to score in the 6th inning. She led off the 6th inning with a base hit, and she's going to try and continue to help the Bulldogs as she takes ball 1. Bulldogs up to this point haven't really had much of an offensive inning. They've had spurts here and there, and the 6th inning was maybe the most offensive they've had. This one's grounded to second base, the throw on to first to Fitzgerald. It'll be in time, and the Huskies wrap up game 1 here in the Husky Dome with a big win. 5-2 is going to be your score as they take game 1, and game 2 is coming up after this. But of course, you can't talk about this first game without talking about Jasmine Estrada and her 3-run homer. But we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will bring you game 2 of the Huskies and Bulldogs here in this first NSIC series between these two teams. And it should be an exciting game 2 if game 1 was